on eggs, burnt on batter. You can't escape the nightmare of your sticky pans. Introducing the Granite Stone Pan, the all-new durable non-stick pan. No butter or oil needed. Watch, we melted down these sticky candies in Granite Stone, and it just doesn't stick. We cooked a half a dozen eggs, bacon, cheese, and tomato breakfast with no butter or oil, and it just doesn't stick. Fire flambe or perfectly seared filet, just like the pros. Plus, it's PFOA free and 100% dishwasher safe. Call or go online to get your Granite Stone Pan for just $19.99. Granite Stone is so durable it comes with a 10-year warranty. And with every order, you're going to get a Granite Stone single-serve egg pan absolutely free. We'll even ship your entire order free. You get it all. An incredible value.
To order, call 1-800-898-6703. That's 1-800-898-6703 or order online at buygranitestone.com.
Dan, Jessica, and Jeff bring you the news and weather from where you live weeknights.
To you, what you do with your life. You had just one, so do what's right now. Somebody
Up North at 4 with Nate and Jeff starts now.
Good afternoon, I'm Nate Myhock, and welcome to Up North at 4. Today on the show, we'll create a bucket list for Jeff's dog, Theo. I'll challenge Jeff on his background of Wisconsin history and our famous residents. Plus, I'll share a surprise that my wife and I found on a little software called Google Maps. We'll get to all that in a bit, but first, here's your top 4 at 4. Ringing in the new year can include all sorts of celebrations, whether that's a kiss at midnight, the fireworks, or popping a bottle of champagne. But the city of Folly Beach in South Carolina may take the cake for the strangest New Year's event. Preparation for the annual Flip-Flop Drop is now underway. The event has taken place every year since 2011, and it works exactly how you'd think. A pair of sparkling flip-flops will descend from the top of a fire truck ladder at midnight on New Year's Eve. And if that wasn't enough to intrigue you, the following day we'll see a Bill Murray look-alike polar plunge. Why Bill Murray? Not sure, but I do find it funny that South Carolina is holding a polar plunge because, come on, how cold is it down there, truly? You know, on this show, I have stated numerous times that I despise many things. The Minnesota Vikings, politics, and snakes, especially snakes, which is why if I had been on this call, I would have been out in a heartbeat. Firefighters in Fort Myers, Florida had quite the unusual drop-in the other day. Someone stopped by asking for help because a snake was in their truck engine. As it turns out, it was a ball python, likely someone's escaped pet, and the fire crew reached out to the Wildlife Commission to find the rightful owner. And a message to anyone out there, you can't trust a person who owns snakes as pets. A snake in your truck, yeah, that's a pretty big surprise. And waking up to an airplane in your front yard, well, that's an even bigger one. A recent windstorm in the Mat-Su Valley in Alaska. One man in Wasilla Lake received quite the shock. An unoccupied airplane came sliding across the ice towards the home. The man, who was house sitting for a friend, was terrified and called 911. Authorities couldn't really do much, but they did track down the plane's rightful owner, who said the windstorm broke the ties of the plane. Hopefully they got some stronger ropes for Christmas this year. So plane coming at your house, that's a terrifying thought. But what about the house striking back and you see a home coming straight towards your car? A Mount Pleasant family is on the move after reaching a settlement with Foxconn to buy the land. However, the Mahonies are bringing the house with them. Literally 7 miles down the road, the Mahonies are still in Mount Pleasant. They're under the same roof, just with a different address. And as you can imagine, a lot of logistical work went into making this move a reality. And for some residents of the town, it offered quite a sight on their roadways. Chief Meteorologist Jeff Weller joining us now. Our airplanes are moving, our houses are moving, our pets' heads are falling off. What's going on?
Oh, what a day. I drove right past there, actually, on Tuesday. For us, though, today, we are melting some snow that's likely going to refreeze again tonight. So it's going to be a slippery area this evening as we have a little bit of drizzle out there with melting snow today, with falling temperatures below freezing again tonight. All right, they're out there today, though. Lots of cloud cover, a few pockets of drizzle. There were a couple flurries in there as well. Overall, though, not a bad day, right? tonight with temperatures back up near 40. We are melting some snow today, but tomorrow, not so much, as we have colder air on the way for tomorrow and a little system in the area for us for tonight. Okay, so right now we're at 38 in Rhinelander, a southwest breeze around 8, and at Dew Point there, still pretty dry air at 34. Over in Wausau, it's 42 for you with that south breeze around 3, and the pressure is falling just a little bit there. And around the horn, look at this. We're in the low to mid 40s across parts of central Wisconsin. That's not normal. The average high being about 25 or so. We'll be above that today, of course. And then tomorrow might be a stretch because 28 is my forecasted high temperature tomorrow, 31 for Saturday, and back up above freezing or so Monday to Tuesday. You get the idea, up and down, a very kind of winter-like pattern here and temperatures. All right, so there is a system. We're in a very active storm track right now. If there was more energy in the atmosphere, we'd have rain or snow out there, but there's a system out there now. It's going to pass to our west tonight. That'll likely bring us a couple rain showers and or a couple snow showers, and there is a chance still of a dusting of snow tonight. Let's walk you through. So here's about 11 o'clock or so, a couple of rain showers around, a couple of snow showers back off north and west. This will likely rotate through the overnight tonight, and that'll likely give us maybe a dusting of snow, but then no snow for the weekend, a very quiet weekend unfolding for us. New Year's Day, of course, is on Sunday, and then next week we're still watching a system across the Great Lakes that could bring us a rain-snow mix Tuesday into Wednesday. Our forecast though for tonight though is cloudy skies, some light rain and some drizzle, and a couple snow flurries out there with low temperatures down near 25. Your full forecast at 5 o'clock.
Save yourself and a friend if you can. Somebody asked me.
Did you know Master Force has thousands of tools at Menards? Any tool you want, we have. There are hammers, drills, pliers, levels, wrenches, grinders, sanders, compressors, nailers, workbenches, blowers, chainsaws, floor jacks, knee pads, work lights, fans. And that's just a taste. Come check out the wide range of products from Master Force, exclusively at Menards.
Save big money at Menards. Carpet City.
Uh-oh. Did your holiday hosting create a couple extra stains in your carpet? Or do you just need an update for your old flooring? Come to Carpet City Flooring Center and start your year off right with free carpet installation. That's right, free carpet installation. If money is a little tight, Carpet City Flooring Center can help make your project affordable with interest-free financing. Get your free carpet installation today.
Carpet City. Our prices will floor you.
Want an amazing deal? Join the Y. January 1st through January 7th and pay the day. Join January 1st and pay $1. Join January 2nd and pay $2, and so on. We even waive the joiner fee. The YMCA offers fitness classes, state-of-the-art equipment, indoor pools, and so much more. We have programs and activities for every age. Offer good at the Southwood County YMCA, the YMCA of the Northwoods, the Stephen Point Area YMCA, and the Woodson YMCA. Pay the day starts January 1st. Make 2023 the year you find your Y. Trig's huge New Year's seafood sale, December 30th. For one day only. It's the largest selection at the lowest prices of the year. For more information, visit Trig's.com.
Happy holidays from all of us here at Newswatch 12 today.
Thank you for choosing to start your mornings with us here on WJFW.
Have a wonderful holiday season and a Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
This portion of Newswatch 12 is brought to you by Furniture and Appliance Mart.
All right, Jeff. So, sad reality of life out there. We all know dogs are man's best friend, right? But, you know, dogs, like people, eventually at some point.
This is going to get sad.
It's going to get sad, but there's going to be a happy ending, I swear, all right? And so, you have Theo, as you can see, he's obviously...
Do I? I don't know.
He's obviously...
He has me.
That's a good point. You know, and when we put our dog down, you wanted him to be happy. Not that we're putting Theo down. He's happy and healthy, all right? But, you know, you want your dog, just like your kids or your friends, to have a happy life, right?
Yes, yes.
Of course. So a family in Nebraska, they're going to the extreme to make sure that their dog is going to be comfortable before he passes away. And we'll just show you this. Might get a little sad, but I think you'll appreciate it. Just take a look.
Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, hold on. All right.
From Chase is on the case.
Yeah, you're gonna be a police dog?
To Remy's ready to ride.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody would be too afraid of you, though.
Remy's an Aussie Doodle and not your typical police pup, and this certainly is an adventure bay.
Yeah, I'm always jealous of people who get to take their dogs to work with them. That would be so fun.
It's a trip around Lincoln that's positively adorable.
Fun? Was that fun? Yes. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Good boy.
Now you can check another one off Remy's bucket list.
He could hear the radio. It was kind of like, who's talking?
A bucket list for a pet that's still just a pup.
And the prognosis for a dog with renal dysplasia is 1, maybe 3 years.
Oh, wow.
And today's his first birthday.
Yeah.
So he hit the first milestone.
A milestone for a pooch in kidney failure, on 3 medicines twice a day. So this summer, Remy's human, Don Giebler, started a Facebook page.
All right, let's go around again here.
He loves life, and I give him the best that I can.
Yep.
From paddleboarding a lake like Zuma, to some martial magic on a fire truck, to Santa's snuggle buddy.
I mean, he's done more in the 1 year of his life than a lot of dogs have done in 15 years of his life.
Now, a day alongside Lincoln's finest, Remy's roughness put to the test.
I said, of course we can make that happen. It's I have access to a police car, so usually people don't want to ride in police cars, but yeah. Well, this one we'll let him ride in the front seat for this one. So yeah.
A bucket list birthday treat.
Look what you got for your birthday. Got a little birthday cake for your birthday. Oh, look at him.
And a memory meant for
Yes.
man's
Aw.
or officer's
Yeah.
best friend.
You can patrol the squirrels. How about that? Yeah. Yep. Let me come. Yep.
So, that wasn't that sad. Come on.
No, but he's a 1-year-old dog,
I know.
and he's
Poor
not going to make it
puppy.
to probably 3, and that's just sad.
It's one of those, like I said, it's a harsh reality of life. Having pets, you know, at some point, they're not going to be with us anymore. So I want to get ahead of this, Jeff, here.
Okay.
Theo is going to live a long life. I know this. I'm positive. But we got ahead of it. We've created a bucket list for Theo.
We did.
For things that we want to see him accomplish and do before he's no longer on this earth. So this first one here, you wrote down, you want him to have a swimming race across the lake. Does he like swimming?
Oh my
Is he a
gosh,
water
yes.
dog?
Water dog. He's part lab.
I guess.
cannot keep him out of the water.
I guess.
So we race. And he likes to go after like seagulls and things that land like mid-lake.
Oh, no.
And he'll go out there, and on the paddleboard, I'll follow him, but he's, you know.
And he doesn't, there's never a moment where he goes,
No.
I'm too far.
In the beginning, I thought, do I follow him? Like, is he going to make it? He should know, right? But he's fine.
He's fine. He's good. This next one, I'm also curious I'm surprised you haven't done it yet. You want to go flying
Yeah.
with Theo. You have your pilot's license.
Yeah.
You want to get on a plane with him.
You can do that.
I feel like we can make this happen.
Well, the plane won't be that big.
Yeah.
But, you know, it'll be a 4-seater Cessna 172, and we're going to go flying this summer.
Put like the
Yeah, doggy
earphones?
headphones. Yeah, they
Do
work.
they actually make those like specifically?
Well, you can adjust the size. So it'll work.
I'll have to see a picture of that. All right, and then the other one, I
should
love
come
this
with when we
one.
go.
You want to spend a day with Theo specifically at a deer farm.
His favorite thing are deer. There's lots
More
of
than
deer
you.
around my house, right? And when he goes outside, he plays with the deer.
Okay.
For example, he tries to imitate how the deer run. You know how they hop through the snow and it kind of does this kind of thing, you know?
Uh-huh. Yeah,
he
yeah.
does that.
Does
And
he do it well?
it's the funniest thing. He doesn't attack them. He just kind of runs with them.
Running wild with the deer, huh?
It's nuts.
All right. So I think we could set that one up as well. This other one might be a little trickier, but I do enjoy it. You want to go play hide and seek at the Biltmore Estate.
Because we play
Why?
hide and seek all the time. Like, that's the thing in our house, right? So that is I've been to this place. It's
the biggest place biggest house in America, right?
It's just nuts, right? So to play hide and seek there would just be a challenge.
You think he'd find you?
I think he'd enjoy the Oh, yes, he'd find me.
Okay.
He's got a lab nose. He finds everything.
All right, so maybe we can work something out with the folks at the Biltmore
Should we call
Estate.
them? Let's
We
give
should
them a
give them a
call?
call.
Okay.
Give them a shout.
We'll
This
fly down
other
there.
one, though, I'm not sure they'd be all for it. You want to go fishing with Theo at a Bass Pro Shop aquarium.
Yes.
I don't
because
know if they would
you're
like
almost
that.
guaranteed to catch something,
That's
and whatever you
true.
catch is going to be really cool. So
Yeah,
I
okay.
figure, that'd be kind of a cool place to
All
fish.
right, so if there's anyone with a Bass Pro Shop connection, please
Don't
let us
do
know.
this,
Yeah,
right?
don't do it unless you have permission, but we're going to try to do it. Theo, we're going to make sure you have the best
That's your
life.
bucket list.
That's your bucket
Really
list,
is.
buddy.
Okay.
In the meantime, we're going to take a break on Up North at 4. We'll be right back after this.
And a friend it became. Somebody asked me.
Northland Basement Systems is the all things basementy company. Basement waterproofing, basement finishing, basement structural repair, humidity and mold control, and nasty crawl spaces too. When it comes to basement solutions, nobody does it better than we do. Since 1991, homeowners just like you in the Northland have trusted Northland Basement Systems for all things basementy in their homes. Call Northland Basement Systems today to schedule a free home evaluation.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy. Buzzed and overshared again? Yeah. I'm gonna call a car. That's a smart idea. So yeah, I know. That's why I did it. Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain. Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina? No. Oh. No.
Music every weekend, never a cover, and drinks priced right. TV, pool, darts, and more. Happy's Pub in downtown Woodruff.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call Low Cost Airlines. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call now.
At WJFW, our Newswatch 12 news team works around the clock to bring you the news that matters most of all to the North Woods. Our team is committed to the community and ensuring that you are as informed as possible. NBC Newswatch 12, news from where you live.
Alrighty, Jeff, big news in the football world this week. J.J. Watt, defensive end for the Arizona Cardinals, formerly the Houston Texans, and the Wisconsin Badgers, announced he will be calling it a quits after this season wraps up. And so I've seen a lot of debate about this on Twitter. Recently, people have said, is J.J. Watt maybe not the quote-unquote the best resident to come out of Wisconsin, but maybe is he the most well-known? I don't know. There's a lot to consider there, but it does raise an interesting point, right? Like, I mean, at this point in time, he might be.
But names like Tony Romo come up and stuff like that. So.
He's up there, though, for sure. He's definitely up there. So, and obviously he is one of, if not the most popular export from the state of Wisconsin.
Is he, though?
Currently.
I don't know.
Up there. Top 5, I would say. Yeah. I don't know. We can debate about this later. But, Jeff, I decided to play a little game with you now. It's a little Wisconsin history trivia game. So I'm going to give you a word bank here of a list of 8 different town names, okay? We can see them on the screen. I even wrote them down for you so you can take this copy right here so you can memorize it. So we got Watertown, Appleton, Willows, Richland Center, Pewaukee, Ripon, Pepin, and Kenosha. So what we're going to do here is I have 8 things, 8 not necessarily people, just 8 things from the state of Wisconsin, and I need you to match the thing to the town. Does that make sense?
Let's go.
All right. Are you down for this challenge?
Let's go. Bring it on.
I don't think you have a choice regardless. All right. So we're going to start. The guy we were just talking about, obviously.
We do.
J.J. Watt. Do you know where J.J. Watt's from? Out of that little list of 8 towns you got there?
I'm going to say Richland Center.
Richland Center. Why? Just feeling it?
Because I'm feeling it.
You're just feeling it. I love it when Jeff is just feeling it. Who doesn't love to just feel it?
Am I right?
I'm not, you'll find out eventually. All right, we'll get down the list here. The next one I think you'll enjoy, Willem Dafoe, which a lot of people always want to say it's William. It's Willem.
No, I think he's from Kenosha.
Kenosha?
Yeah.
Okay. Just, again, feeling, vibes? What are you going for here?
I don't know. I really don't know. It's talking to me.
What's clicking. All right, so Willem Dafoe is from Kenosha now. This next one here, we got Laura Ingalls Wilder.
She's from Wisconsin?
Very, very famous author from Wisconsin. Now we're putting the pressure on.
Appleton.
You really think Appleton?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know, so, people home are like, he's wrong.
I feel like there's going to be a couple of emails you might receive after this, Jeff.
It's okay. I get them every day.
This is true.
Most of them are like, how do you work with Nate?
Really? Do they? No, I didn't think so. The next one, Orson Welles, who I actually didn't know was from Wisconsin until today.
His last name's kind of like my last name.
Orson Welles. Wellers.
Let's go for...
Where's Orson Welles from? He is from Wisconsin.
Watertown?
You're thinking Watertown?
Yeah.
Okay. You know what their mascot is, by the way?
A bulldog.
The Goslings.
Oh.
Like a baby goose.
Oh, really?
I was kind of like that one. It's a fun one. All right, moving on. So Orson Welles, you're saying Watertown. This next one, Frank Lloyd Wright.
Isn't he from Kenosha?
I don't. You tell me. This is your game
I
here.
think I messed this up.
All right. Are you trying to switch answers? Is
Let's
what you're
do
telling me.
Pepin.
So, okay. So Frank Lloyd Wright, you're saying is from Pepin. Yeah, what if the trick is that they're all from the same place? They're not, but that'd be a lot of fun. All right. And then this is where we kind of get off the beaten path a little bit.
Kindergarten?
The first ever kindergarten was built in the United States in the state of Wisconsin. What town was that
the birthplace of the Republican Party is Ripon, so that's not this, though. Kindergarten. So I haven't used Pewaukee yet.
You have not used Pewaukee. That one's still on the,
Pewaukee.
the list here. So we're saying
Like
kindergarten.
Pee-wee, right? Pewaukee, Pee-wee.
That's, I like where your head's at there.
Okay.
So this next one, you kind of teased a little bit. The GOP, the Republican
I know
Party.
this one.
So this is a gimme. You just had it.
Ripon.
It is Ripon. I'll spoil it right now. It is Ripon. And then this one, again, didn't realize this was from Wisconsin. Barbie? Like, not the doll itself, but the character within the
All right, all I have
world
left is Willows.
of Barbie.
But I got Ripon on 2. It's not good. So Willows for Barbie.
You thinking? Okay.
And then I think that's, I'm not going to change anything.
You're going to stick with it?
Yeah.
Lock them in?
I'm pretty sure I'm wrong on half of these.
Let's take a
Let's
gander.
see.
All right, let's go through and see how you did here, Jeff. So J.J. Watt, you said was from Richland Center. He is from Pewaukee.
Oh,
so
okay.
I wish we had the Family Feud thing. We don't. This next one, Willem Dafoe is from Appleton.
Wait,
Also,
I got that. Did I get that right?
No. You said Kenosha.
Oh, okay.
My guy, you said Kenosha.
Okay.
So we're 0 for 2 right now. He's probably the second most famous person from Appleton behind our very own Dan Hagen.
Pepin.
Laura Ingalls Wilder from the small town of Pepin, not Appleton like you said.
Appleton.
And then Orson Welles, you said Watertown. He's from Kenosha.
0 for 4.
0 for 4. So I can tell you this, though, Jeff. You get a little bit better here in the back end. Frank Lloyd Wright, you said from Pepin.
Right.
He is from Richland Center.
Okay, so not getting better yet.
Not yet.
0 for 5.
Kindergarten, again, like where your head was at with Pewaukee.
Nope.
Kindergarten started in Watertown.
So
but then,
for 6.
Here we go. We ended on a high note, Jeff. Because the GOP, the Republican Party, Ripon, which you said,
1 for 6.
Barbie is from Willows, which I don't even know if Willows is a real town, but she's from there.
All right.
So there we go. Hey, you ended on a high note, Jeff. Thanks for playing along.
Though?
We will play more
That was painful,
Wisconsin history games, I suppose, in the future. But we're going to take a break on Up North F4. We'll be right back after this.
Ho, ho, ho! What do you want for Christmas?
Santa, this beaver dam tip up is very cool.
Start the new year off right during the final days of the Ford Shine Bright sales event. Don't miss your chance to choose from a great selection of new Ford vehicles in stock and ready for delivery. Or place a custom order, lock in your rate, and you're protected. Plus, new inventory is still arriving daily, so you could drive one home today. This season, choose FlexBuy on a 2022 Escape or Edge SUV and get 0% financing for 66 months at your local Ford dealer and shine bright.
Listen, Carm, Mrs. Claus usually trims me up the night before Christmas, but she's too busy. Can you please help me out?
No problem, Santa. I got this. This is easier than building Achoo!
Ho, ho, oh no, what did you do to my beard? Bad things happen. That's why you need good insurance. Relax, Santa. I've got you covered. I'm gonna set a record flight time. When Santa needs help, he calls the agents at Marshfield Insurance. Have a Merry Christmas and don't forget to insure those new toys.
Introducing Granite Stone, the all-new durable non-stick pan. No butter or oil needed. Look, sticky candies, burnt-on cheese, caramel and chocolate. Even upside-down pan pizza just doesn't stick. Perfectly sear a filet or fire flambe. Get your Granite Stone pan for just $19.99. And with every order, you're going to get a Granite Stone single-serve egg pan absolutely free. Order now.
To order, call 1-800-898-6703. That's 1-800-898-6703 or order on.
Discover Discover what's trending in the North Woods on Up North at 4 with Nate Myhawk and Jeff Weller. Local conversations about what it means to live, work, and play up north. Weekdays at 4.
Not really here.
All right, welcome back. So, Jeff, I told you about this, and I wanted to share this on the show. It's not necessarily relevant to the show. It's just really cool, and I kind of wanted to share it with everybody. So, as you might remember, back in July, my wife and I went on a trip to Europe. We were in Denmark, spent a lot of time in Copenhagen. And while we were there, one morning, we got up, went out to a cafe for some breakfast. We were sitting outside. The weather was nice, having a coffee, waiting for our food. And we noticed the Google Maps car. It drove right by.
Which you've all seen.
Which you've all seen, the big camera on top. You can't miss it. And it was one of those you thought, oh, how cool would that be if they were taking the picture right now? Kind of forgot about it, you know. And then a couple days ago, my wife said, hey, do you remember that time in Copenhagen?
She checked.
So she's like, I'm kind of curious. So she went on Google Maps and found the cafe, and we said,
there you are.
That looks pretty familiar. And if we have a zoomed in shot here, boom, it's me and my wife sitting outside of this cafe. They blur everyone's faces if you ever go on Google Maps. But that is my wife and I sitting outside of a cafe in Copenhagen. So if for whatever reason someone said, I need proof that you were there.
Chris, put that back up if you can. It looks like you're paying attention to your cell phone and not your wife. What's going on here, Nate?
So
you just got married.
So here's the thing. This is the morning. We're out for breakfast. We're planning our day ahead. I believe this day we did a tour of one of the castles. So my excuse is I was looking at the hours and the prices. All right? Give me a break here.
Oh, are you okay? That's what you're going to tell us?
That's what I'm going to. That's what I'm going with. It's my story.
Body language here, though, would suggest, I don't know.
Whatever.
Okay.
We can debate about it more, but we got to take another break. Be right back and Up North.
Somebody asked me.
Whether it's high-end art exhibitions, concerts, or special events, ArtStart is an engaged and active organization, strengthening our community through arts education and cultural engagement. Learn more at artstartrhinelander.org.
The Rhinelander Pub is now open Monday to Saturday. Come enjoy our newly expanded lunch and dinner menu featuring longtime pub favorites and new entree additions. You will love our all-you-can-eat soup and salad bar and Friday seafood buffet.
Book your reservation today for a sleigh ride this holiday season at Rocking W Stables in Eagle River. Scenic rides through the winter wonderland with a pit stop at a roaring fire. Enjoy hot cocoa while creating great memories with friends and family.
Carpet City. Uh-oh. Did your holiday hosting create a couple extra stains in your carpet? Or do you just need an update for your old flooring? Come to Carpet City Flooring Center and start your year off right with free carpet installation. That's right, free carpet installation. If money is a little tight, Carpet City Flooring Center can help make your project affordable with interest-free financing. Get your free carpet installation today.
Carpet City, our prices will floor you.
You've decided to go back to school. Good for you. So, which would you rather do? Get up early, get dressed, drive to college, find a parking spot, walk across campus, only to sit in a giant lecture hall, or earn your degree from home with Independence University.
I have two small children, a 10-year-old and a 4-year-old, so the online format and the flexibility was a must.
I could work at my own pace, and I was still able to take care of my kids while going to school.
We'll even provide you with a new laptop and tablet to keep when you graduate, and a personal student success team.
I have had such personalized attention, and it's an online degree.
If I had a question on the coursework, I always got my answer within an hour or two.
I will never be able to express what I owe this institution.
Independence University. Online, but never alone.
Call 1-800-879-1493. 1-800-879-1493.
Happy holidays from all of us here at Newswatch 12 today.
Thank you for choosing to start your mornings with us here on WJFW.
Have a wonderful holiday season and a Happy New Year.
Happy New Year!
Alrighty, Jeff, I know Forest County, their snowmobile trails are finally opening today.
We have a story on that at 5.
We do. And is this going to be a good weekend, do you think, for the snowmobiles?
All right, so we did a little melting today. Not a lot, just a little. And now we're going to go back down below freezing tomorrow. So no issues at all there. Trails are open. Enjoy them. Be careful out there, please, this weekend.
Yes. Thank you, Jeff. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow on Up North at 4.
This week on Real, watch the year end with enthusiasm.
Over the soul pack! Why are we yelling?
Woo! My lovely earrings were made by my friend Kyle, a lifelong fan of Vanna's.
Sure, Vanna will be expecting a pair of earrings in the mail.
Something's happening! Happy New Year, everyone!
Happy New Year!
Weeknights at 6:30 on NBC 12.